Have you ever walked into a home, looked at the price, and thought, something feels off here? Well, you're not wrong. Right now in Saskatoon, there are homes sitting on the market that look great online, but don't quite live up to your expectations, especially for the price. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to spot an overpriced listing so you don't overpay or waste too much time negotiating. And stick around because at the end, I'll show you one simple trick I use with my clients that instantly tells us if a home is overpriced. I'm Conor, Palendat, realtor with Betcha Real Estate Group. And if you need a top producing team to help buy or sell a home with, all of my contact info is in the description below. First, let's quickly talk about why overpriced homes even exist, because a lot of people assume if it's overpriced, why doesn't it just get priced properly? Well, there are a few reasons. Some sellers price high on purpose. They want to test the market. Some sellers are anchored to what their neighbors sold for, even if that sale was months ago in a different market. Some sellers simply overvalue their home emotionally, and sometimes the market just shifts. New listings come on the market that are more aggressively priced, or homes you used as comps sell for less. Whatever the reason, the key point is the market doesn't care. A home is only worth what a buyer is willing to pay in today's conditions. And in a market like Saskatoon, where inventory is tight and buyers are becoming increasingly selective, pricing issues happen more often than you'd think. The first and easiest way to spot an overpriced home is days on market. If a home has been sitting for a while, that's a signal. In Saskatoon, when a home is priced right, it moves quickly, sometimes the same day. So when you see a property sitting for 30, 60, even 90 days, you have to ask why. And here's where buyers make a mistake. They think, there must be something wrong with the house. Well, sometimes that's true, but often it's the pricing. The market already rejected that price, and that creates opportunity for you if you know how to approach it properly. Next, look at price reductions. Price drops are one of the clearest signals that a home was overpriced. If a home goes from $499,000 to $479,000 and then to $459,000, that tells you something. The seller either misread the market, intentionally pushed the limits, or the market attitude has shifted. Even after a price drop, the home can still be overpriced. Just because the price came down doesn't mean it's all of a sudden now fair market value. Now, let's talk about the most important piece, comparables. This is where the real truth is. When I'm working with buyers, we don't look at what's active on the market first, necessarily. We look at what has sold, because sold homes tell you what buyers were actually willing to pay. Here's a simple way to think about it. If similar homes in the same neighborhood sold for $480,000 and the one you're looking at is listed at $525,000, that gap is your red flag. Now, there are always reasons a home might justify a higher price. Maybe it's fully renovated, maybe it has a better lot, but most of the time, if all else is pretty equal, that gap means the home is overpriced. And this is where working with a realtor who knows the micro markets in Saskatoon makes a big difference, because pricing in Stonebridge is different than pricing in Evergreen. And even within the same neighborhood, one street can outperform another. There's so many different little pockets that everything works a little bit differently depending where you are. And here's another big one, condition versus price. Buyers today are very informed. They know what renovations cost, so when they walk into a home with original flooring, older kitchens, or deferred maintenance, and it's priced at the top of the market, they just walk away. And when enough buyers walk away, that home sits. This is one of the most common reasons listings end up becoming stale. Now, I want to touch on something that doesn't get talked about enough: your gut. If you viewed a bunch of homes, you start to get a sense of value. So when you walk into a property and something feels off, don't ignore that. That feeling usually comes from subtle comparisons your brain is making. Layout, condition, location, price, it all adds up. Now, your gut alone shouldn't make the decision, but it's often the first signal that something isn't quite lining up. And all right, here's a simple trick I mentioned at the beginning. I call it the buyer activity test. Ask yourself this: if this home were $10, $20, $30, or even $40,000 cheaper, would it still be available right now? It gives you a really good litmus test on how overpriced it might be. In a market like Saskatoon, properly priced homes don't sit. So if a home has been sitting with little activity, that tells you everything you need to know. The market has already voted, and it voted no. Here's the bottom line: overpriced homes are not something to fear. They're an opportunity, because when you understand how to spot them, you gain leverage. You can negotiate better deals, you can avoid overpaying, and hey, even find a really good deal. And you can make smarter long-term decisions. If you're thinking about buying in Saskatoon and want help analyzing listings, breaking down comps, and building a strong offer strategy, reach out to me directly. My contact info is always in the description below. And if you found this video helpful, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and keep an eye out for my next video. Thanks for watching and have a great day.